What is going on, everyone? It is Foul Play here. We back again playing some Bant Bogles. So picked this up sort of like with kind of mixed results a little bit. But we are going to be getting back into another league here. Alright, so I've decided I want to try it without Invisible Stalker. Maybe like 1 or 2 copies is correct. But at the moment, obviously, running around decent amount of Tron in the metagame. I'm sort of wanting to squeeze in this extra Night of Autumn, and then just trying to switch one out for maybe a Staggering Insight instead and see what that's like, because obviously Staggering Insight gives card draw. As much as evasiveness is good, we've got like 3 Rancors here, 3 Arcane Flights here, so ways to push damage through as well. So currently running 19 lands, the same lands I ran last time. So like the full 8 fetches here between Flooded Strand and Windswept Heath. And then a 2-off for Hallowed Fountain, a 1-off for Temple Garden, and a 1-off for Breeding Pool. We've got Razorverge Thicket as a 1-off fast land in there. We've got the 3 mana confluences, which really help with the mana fixing a lot. The 1-off Horizon Canopy, and the 1 of each of these 2 basics here, Islands and Plains. Not interested really in having a basic forest in this deck. It's just something I'm not that interested in, right? Just a little bit greedy. Maybe I want like the 20th land here as well, but I'll just run it like this and see what happens in the league. So in this utility slot, it's pretty heavy, but I guess a lot of it's taken up by like not having the 4 core Spirit Dancers, or in this case, Invisible Stalkers here. So aura wise, we've got a very large number of auras here. We've got 25 auras in the deck. It's getting close towards half our deck. Sideboard wise, well, over here we have got our graveyard package for all these Uro decks that are running around. Surgical Extraction, we've seen that's been very, very good. No matter what colors I'm running, it's just genuinely very, very good. Stripping all the Uros out of their deck is a very powerful thing. Rest in Peace as well. I should probably just replace it with another Surgical, but obviously Rest in Peace does a few things, like against Jund, against Uptool spells. It's just like a little bit better. That and Surgical Extraction is expensive, and I am still trying to slowly work up towards that Force Negation, although I seem to keep getting hampered in my progress towards it. So a couple of Torpor Orbs here for ETB decks, a couple of Heroic Interventions for the Engineered Explosives or Blast Zone type decks. Trickbind, again, overlapping with that, but maybe it can hit a Planeswalker ability too. Fetch land activation, I don't know, something along those lines. And then we've got our ley lines, we've got our Force of Vigors. So that's the list we're going to be going for. Hopefully the lack of creatures doesn't cost us, but we're pretty keen. Alright, so here we are for match number 1, everyone. We're on Dyra, we are versing Manny. Obviously, we are on the play. Yep, sweet. I'm going to keep this hand. Looks pretty solid. Opponent with a Lurus deck here. So turn 2, we can get our Staggering Insight down and then have Force and Negation protection, which is pretty reasonable. Night of Autumn likely isn't going to do anything too important for us. The old upkeep stops. Alright, so play our guy and pass the turn. Alright, opponent plays and cracks this Blood Crypt, playing a Monastery Swiftspear. It's all going to be fine. They decide to leave back Chump Blockers. That's pretty scary to me, actually. This is sort of insinuating to me that they have a mutagenic growth, and I don't really want to just like attack into it or gun ho. I think I'm happy to like delay for a turn here. Because eventually, like, I'm gonna threaten that I'm putting down first strike here slowly. Wow. Opponent is really not very keen to attack here at all. I'm sort of just okay with playing out this Knight of Autumn actually and gaining some life. So we'll just put our life total back up to 21. And then I guess we throw down Rancor and Knight of Autumn and start attacking our opponent if they're just going to continue to play this like slow game of trying to chump block. Alright, they've got the Fatal Push. Sure, whatever. It's a waste of like a couple of prowess triggers, really. But they probably weren't casting that at all anyway. What have we got now? Scourge. Okay. We're on 21 life opponents. Scourge isn't gonna cut it. Oops. Alright, cool. Sweet. We've got an important effect here. And just throw down our Rancor. And we'll attack our opponent now. And start getting some pressure happening. If they pump up their creature with mutagenic growth or something else, at least we have totem armor now to sort of like be okay. And obviously we're attacking for 5, we're gaining life and making things hard for our opponent, right? We draw a Path to Exile. Holy shit. This is epic, yeah. This is really strong now. And doing it this way with, you know, leaving the Staggering Insight in hand, it does mean we still have the Force of Negation should we need it. Let's just path away one of their creatures here. And then I guess they take Staggering Insight. And I think we sort of fetched slightly wrong. If we got Island, would be able to play Force of Negation. At the moment, we can't cast Force of Negation if they take our blue card. It shouldn't impact on the match too... Wow, they took the Force? I guess they've got a team of Battle Rage. Death Shadow is scary right now. Alright, we'll play out a Staggering Insight, leave back chump blockers, and this Curious Obsession's making me wish I fetched that island all the more. Yeah, I didn't have getting double blue on my mind. I'll just throw that one out there. Oh, hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us too hard. Blood Crypt, Shocked In. And what are we playing now? 5 mana? I don't know what they do for 5 mana with a Lurrus in their deck. I can't really attack. Oh, this is just going to fall off into the graveyard. This is really dumb. If I attack, they just block with their Death Shadow. I gain some life, but yeah, I should just leave that in hand. That's so stupid. I knew it as soon as I did it. Well, that's probably the more likely mistake that's going to cost us. Fortunately, like, we have a really good chump block on the Monastery Swiftspear, so it's hard for our opponent to do anything. We just sort of need to draw Path or Flying right now, though. Alright, opponent is throwing down the Lightning Bolt. So we're on 19 now. Another Lightning Bolt, sure. I'm definitely smelling a team of Battle Rage here. Scourge. Flying. Alright, we'll just keep growing our guy slowly. We can do a big old chump block on the Scourges. Opponent can get, you know, Lurrus out and then start playing a Scourge a turn now as well. There's one in the graveyard. I don't think we're like super scared just yet, but they sort of have better inevitability here than what we do. But I mean, Daybreak Coronet, Staggering Insight, Daybreak Coronet, Arcane Flight, or Ethereal Armor are like what we need to see. Opponents obviously put their Lurus into hand. We don't have an attack. The Curious Obsession isn't getting our power quite high enough here. The next one will. So opponent plays the Lurus. I guess they're just getting a Scourge back from the grave now as well. That's not the scariest thing. Perfect. Alright, so we'll attack. We can play Path to Exile instant speed, depending on how they chump block. If they block with these Scourges, like obviously we deal first strike damage, they shrink to 0 power. Cool. So we path this before damage. Trample damage will put all 8 damage across to our opponent. We'll kill them while drawing 4 cards. So, good team. No basic lands left in deck. He's only got 2 basics. Alright, that's pretty good information to know. Alright. Go team. So, Leyline of Sanctity is going to be pretty important here. So is the Path to Exile. Other than that, Night of Autumn's pretty garbage. And our Force Negations are probably weaker than our Stubborn Denial. But having a Stubborn Denial is not the worst thing in the world. There's good chance our opponent's going to look to Kozilek return us on turn 3, so maybe Stubborn Denial or Force gains a little bit of value here. I don't know. And we could trim like 1 Rancor for a Force. It's got to be Stubborn Denial as the better effect though, right? Alright, let's do that. Because Stubborn Denial, like, if we've got Leyline in play, alright, whatever, we keep this. This hand's awesome. If we've got Leyline in play, we're already down a card. If we then do Force, we're down an extra card again. And Stubborn Denial has the option to be played during our turn. If they are looking to Anger of the Gods us or Kozilek return us, they're going to look to do it on curve, not like a turn late as well. Which would just give us a chance to, you know, just force spike it for 1 mana. So yeah, this hand's really good. If they Thought Seize us, the best card they can take is Staggering Insight, which sort of sucks because I deal 4 damage to myself, but at the same time, if we're resolving a creature and a 3-powered totem armored Curious Obsession creature, that's all pretty good to me. Alright, so opponent mulling into 6, and we're off and into the game here. Looks like an old IOC. Goodbye Staggering Insight. Hello. Guess we play the Slippery Bogle. There's a chance we draw a Razorverge Thicket, in which case or Plains, in which case we don't need to shock in this Temple Garden, and we can potentially save ourselves some life, or even Island. So let's shock in this one. And we don't have to rush for the Temple Garden, right? We've only got 2 Rancors in our deck, so it's not really a priority to get out there. Oh wow, we don't get Thought Seized? Bro, that is a good draw. Looks like he's gonna try and do some shenanigans when we're attacking. Let's just Ethereal Armor, Hyena Umbra, make it really hard for those shenanigans to pay off. He can't Lightning Bolt. I'm not sure what else he's going for with the chump block here. The only thing that makes sense is Mutagenic Growth. But if we have our big creature here, we sort of negate that in a way, I guess. Blood Moon. Alright. I guess Blood Moon's a pretty good one. Island off top. I'm still unsure as to why he did it the way he did. Like, he could have got in for an extra 1 point of damage. Big fat Death Shadow. Maybe we draw Path. I really don't want to be trying to play around Blood Moon. I think I just play around it with my fetches as opposed to boarding in anything. Big fat Scourge now as well. Oh. Maybe there's a world where he doesn't attack with both. Even though we're on 7. Yes, we're dead to Team of Battle Rage regardless. Double lightning bolt as well. Yeah, fucking. We just died of the Swift Spear. Alright. Well, Blood Moon put a dampener in our day, but now we know about it, we can fetch around it. That's sort of okay. Let's just run it back. We do have 8 fetch lands in this deck, so especially when we're on the play, we're going to be less weak to what he's doing. Alright, we're going to keep this one. Not the most amazing hand ever, but it's a keep. Opponent is on 5 cards. Bomat Courier, sure, whatever. We'll take it. Another staggering insight. Alright. So we fetch basic here. Play around those Blood Moons. Attack for 2. Next turn we can attack for 3. And, you know, we get to draw cards, so that's good. Ethereal Armor's a good draw. Alright. I feel better about this game now. Not really that concerned about what our opponent can do. We'll just lead on the Ethereal Armor here, then we'll do the staggering, and we should pretty much just win it from here. They could make a giant Death Shadow, but we can path their Death Shadow. And then, like, you know, we just kill them, right? So... And yeah, they can't make us discard because we've got Leyline of Sanctity here. Our opponent discarding them Blood Moons. Misha's Bobble and anything else. Easy peasy, we get there. Alright, so match 2, we won the die roll. This hand's rubbish, we throw. And this hand's good, we keep. Just ditch one of my land sources and then we can get straight into it. Lead on the Windswept Heath. We'll fetch out our Hallowed Fountain. No need to take extra points of damage. and we'll probably just get a plains with our next land anyway. But we might, for some reason, want the island instead. Windswept Teeth into nothing. Alright, so let's take this opportunity to... Actually, no, we do need to get Temple Garden here for the Rancor in hand. But we'll just go ahead and play our Staggering Insight here. We'll attack, we'll get our card draw. And then we can look to get a little bit more aggressive next turn. We do need to find First Strike here. Opponent Temple Garden into play tapped. And what do we find? An island? Oh, well, there you go. We've got our double blue now. We've got our double white as well. Scavenging Ooze. Alright, so a million clicks, attack, draw some more cards. No matter what he does, we get the card draw here. They can mark 2 damage to our creature, but unless they can instant speed destroy one of our Staggering Insights. Oh yeah, a couple of Curious Obsessions. The gravy train keeps on coming. This looks a little bit like Heliod Company to me, would be my guess. Yep, there's the Heliod. Let's go ahead and thin our library here. We'll get a second Hallowed Fountain. And then we'll just jam these Curious Obsessions. Attack for a bunch. Draw 4 cards. It's absurd. All the card draw. Always yes. Always yield. And we've got double Path to Exile as interaction, if that does something, maybe. Spike Feeder. I think we got him. Path in response, and they can sack it in response to gain an extra 2 life, but then they just die to my attacks anyway. Go team! Win the first game against Heliod Combo? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're probably not favored here, though. I'm going to throw that one out there. Trickbind could be useful, as could Surgical Extraction, maybe, but that's a bit niche. It's going to be a bit more situational. Night of Autumn's pretty bad. Anything else we want to remove? Our Staggering Insights might be a little bit slow, but they do pitch to force. If we bring in Torpor, that shuts down pretty much just Captain Ranger of Eos ETB, which fetches Walking Ballista. It's not great, but it's something. I think we just want to rely on our counter magic to counter their spells, and maybe Trickbind to counter the activation or the life gain effect. And just hope that's good enough. Alright, so opponent on the play. This hand's garbage. As is this. Big yikes here. Opponent's mulligan to 6 as well. See if they go any lower. If they do continue to go lower, like counter magic becomes even more powerful. Looks like they've kept to 6. Oh man, like. Alright. Alright, no lands now. I don't. Yeah, alright, cool. We've got a hand. We've only got a bottom 4 cards here, guys. Just only 4. Alright, let's do some work, Stubborn Denial. Let's do some work. At least counter magic wise, Stubborn Denial is is an aura, which isn't going to cost us an effect, and we find interaction via path as well. All right, well we're slowly getting there as far as interaction is concerned. I'd be extremely surprised if we won on a Malta 3. Another Utopia Sprawl. A Heliod. Yeah. Get in there, team. Get in there, little scout. Let's do it. So we're holding up both Path and Stubborn Denial. Conclave Mentor is gross. I think we're just dead. If they like collected company, they just get like Spike Feeder and win. Because Conclave Mentor will make it enter with 3 counters on it, and we've only got 1 mana here. Alright, whatever. Don't need to play that one out. We can just get into the next one. Alright, cool. This is definitely a keep. My mana's like sort of tricky there. Maybe I should have just left on the mana confluence so I could get Hallowed Fountain off of that one. I really hope it doesn't come back to bite us not having double blue. Went it with the Utopia Sprawl and naming green this time. Alright, well let's get our Staggering Insight down, start the gravy train, and tax. Alright, well we've made our 3rd land drop, and that's going to go a pretty long way to helping us this game. Another Utopia Sprawl on the same land here. Wow! Triple Utopia Sprawl, man. Alright, calm down. So yeah, we want to get this Staggering Insight down right now. And then we can just play our Hyena Umbra. We'll leave the Flying Secret for now. We'll just be all kinds of aggressive. We find Stubborn Denial too. Alright, so now's the time to start holding up our counter magic. Oh man. Man, where's my force when I need it? Heliod. No Spike Feeder. No Spike Feeder. Only Heliod. Okay. Alright. I am still absolutely terrified right now. So just attack, draw 2 cards. It's not bad. Interaction time. Pay for Stubborn Denial, pay for Trick Bind, pay for Path. We can only do 2 of them, max of 2 of them, but still, not bad. Alright, so opponent plays Captain Ranger of Eos. I guess we counter the ETB. Or else they just get Heliod, and that's a bad time, so. And then I suppose we path this as well, so he can't activate it during our turn or during their next turn. Helping them mana a little bit here, but I don't know, maybe we draw an Ethereal Armor and just kill them. That could be something, right? So we've got 4 power on the board. We can put them to 1. and have no mana up. Definitely want the card draw from Staggering Insight. I think the card draw's enough. I don't think I want to tap any more mana than this. We get to draw 3 cards, so we can find plenty more interaction. Alright, we've got a path now as well. I consider this a much stronger spot than what we were just in. So let's see what they can do this turn. Alright, here comes the Pendlehaven. So they top decked land. They're trying to cast something here. 5 mana. I'm guessing it's either a Walking Ballista or a Court of Calling or something. Alright, there's an Oriok Champion. That's fine resolving. Alright, and here's the Walking Ballista. So if it enters, they gain a life. Put a counter on it. They neg to target me and I path it in response. Sure. So they're going to pay 2 mana to activate the Heliod here. Then they're going to neg the Ballista, then we path it. And then we just untap and kill them. They don't have to do this right now. They can try to do it instant speed as well. But then we just go flying, attack, win. Or flying plus ethereal. Alright, what you got, opponent? Think tank. Alright, here comes a Giver of Runes. Ah, that's annoying. But now they don't have... Now they can't activate the lifelink. So this trigger will go on the stack. Now we can path. So now that they've targeted the creature, so they can't get value putting the token on a different creature. Don't think it would matter either way. And now they're just going to shoot me for some damage, and we'll kill in the air. With Stubborn Denial back up. Alright, all the damage in the world. Let's go. Heliod down. Alright, team. Nice stuff. Alright, match number 4. We are on the draw. I can only assume with Gigantha this is probably Tron. Maybe it's like Upsal spells or something. But this hand has Force Negation, so I'm going to keep it. We can counter an Ugin or something. It could be very, very strong. Expedition map. We could go after their mana, but then we just have nothing else. I think I'm going to let this resolve. Let's play out our guy and pass the turn. And we'll take a bit of damage, play out a Staggering Insight, attack to draw a card, And then hopefully it's like a different blue card so we can keep this staggering insight that's in hand. We're feeling like card draw is going to be pretty important here. Find a mana confluence, alright. That's horrifying. So he's doing one of two things here. He's going for Ugin, he's doing one of three things: Ugin, Ulamog, or Blast Zone. So I guess we sort of cover all bases and force the issue on the Blast Zone right now. Attack for a bunch. I kind of wanted to play the Staggering Insight to see if I could draw an extra blue card, but sort of... Okay, we find the extra blue card. I don't think it was quite worth it, because, like, Hyena Umbra plus Staggering Insight would have been better there, but it wasn't guaranteed blue cards, so... was sort of edging away from it. So they get Tower there, and kind of want to see Ugin just so I can counter it. They get Ulamog, we can path it as well. Alright, baby. Tron ain't got nothing on us. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, good times, man. Good times. This feels awesome. Alright, attack in. Put our opponent to 8. Hopefully they don't have the second one. Alright, pass the turn. Make him have it. The most terrifying thing ever for Tron. Bogles with counter magic. And here comes Khan the Great Creator into, one can only assume, Ensnaring Bridge. So we're pretty much going to need to find one of these Knight of the Autumns off the top. The solo Knight of the Autumn. To destroy the Ensnaring Bridge. And then we can attack for the win. And hopefully he doesn't go too crazy in the meantime. Cool card. Really cool card. Alright. He's getting a land card with his Golos. And then, yeah. Okay. Maybe it's better to cycle the Horizon Canopy end step here instead. Give us slightly higher chance of drawing what we need. Ooh. Can we survive until next turn? That's the million-dollar question. I think we just leave Daybreak Coronet in hand. A creature should be big enough. Unless he goes after 2 of our auras with an Ulamog. In which case we'd have trouble attacking into it anyway. Opponent negs the Khan. I can't believe we drew the Knight of Autumn anyway, as well, guys. That's, like, insane. Sundering Titan. Fuck off, man. I need my lands. Oh, no. We lose 2 mana here. Alright. Alright. You got us. And they lose a forest. You rip land into land. We might be okay, but if this Khan's given enough time to get online and go wild, we are probably not faring as well. Alright, Gigantha to hand and Blast Zone on the board. I can only imagine Blast Zone's getting ticked up to 2 here. We do draw mana. I guess we just play Scout plus Hyena Umbra on the Scout. Maybe we can force him to neg the Blast Zone, or like pop the Blast Zone for 1. Is he popping or plussing? Alright, he's popping. That's really good for us, actually, as long as he doesn't have another Blast Zone in hand. Fucking second Ugin. Alright, whatever. We got close. We got real close. That sucks, dude. Alright, so Trick Bind, Heroic Intervention, Force of Vigor. All really, really good. Path needs to come out, and Night of Autumn can stay in. What are we at? 63 cards. I really like all our counter magic. Maybe we just lose the Arcane Flights, although they would have been handy that game. Let me change the display here. I really think we want all our interactive elements, although there are a lot here, and I'm just gonna like trim on each of these 3 cards and suck up the fact that I'm disrupting my synergies a little bit, but whatever. Alright, so we'll be on the play. Alright, I'll keep this hand. That Sundering Titan is so annoying, man. Razorverge Thicket is going to be good, though. And we probably go after his Expedition map if he plays it, but we can also make that decision during the upkeep or draw step of his second turn. Alright, he plays the Sphere, so there's no choice to be made. Alright, we brick on mana, which really, really sucks. Fortunately, we can attack for 3, which is something. Opponent just has Tron mana, really? I think we just play the Staggering Insight. Attack. Oh, they're holding up Nature's Claim. That's what they're doing. This is really dumb. I just played into a Nature's Claim here. I should have just held up Heroic Intervention instead. Yeah, I should know when they don't crack that on their turn that there's a very good reason for it. I just threw away probably the best aura in my hand. And now I just get played into like Khan Neg. Yeah. So I should have Heroic Intervention up in this situation, and now they're probably just gonna exile from our hand, really? Lose the Bogle, I suppose. Man, that Khan ticks up real fast. I feel like if we played this game better, we might be okay, but if he just attacked our hand, we might be in trouble. I'm going to attack him and force the issue. That gives us a card draw as well. And we find a staggering insight. Okay. We draw mana there. We can protect our board with Heroic Intervention to like a neg here. But we don't. Are we just getting Ugin now? I really wish I didn't misplay on turn 2. So he goes after our Rancor. Now he's got something to play. A Worm Coil Engine. Swell. And he's got mana for Sylvan Scrying up as well. We are so dead, man. Urza's Tower. Stubby D right on time. Can't see us winning this in any regard. Like, if we end step force the Germ token, he just gets 2 anyway. We play the Staggering Insight. Our Curious Obsession falls off from us not attacking anyway. Then they just neg attack the Staggering Insight. The Curious Obsession. Yeah, sorry. I can't see us winning. I'm just gonna concede. Fuck this shit, man. There's no out at this point. We misplayed our turn 2, and then we like stumbled on land drop into our opponent having a creature we can't attack into. Maybe that's the argument to not take out the Arcane Flight. Feel like he got pretty lucky game 1 though. Alright, so into this match. This is garbage. We throw. We won the die roll, by the way. We're on the play. This hand is better, but not amazing. I'm going to keep it. Ditch a Scout. Lucky Knight of Autumn always coming up. I think Knight is good tech. At least it has a mode which is almost always relevant. Like, it can be a creature. It can... like a big 4/3 creature, it can destroy an artifact or an enchantment, or it can gain life. Like, it's a lot more versatile than any other form of artifact hate that I can think of for, you know, main deck and Snaring Bridge. We almost beat main deck and Snaring Bridge. If he didn't have the Sundering Titan, we would have. Opponent mulled to 6. So yeah, we're going to keep this one. We're going to ditch the Scout, and that's all good. Alright, opponent keeps their hands, so we throw down our Bogle and ship the turn. Obviously, best draw is land, so we can get the Staggering Insight down and start the gravy train. Storm. Okay, land, please. Thank you. Alright, let's start it. Get it happening. You don't have Spell Pierce, do you? Thank fuck. I really need this to resolve because their hand's got nothing going on here. I could also be a Kiki combo, right? So we'll attack in. We'll draw. Find another Hyena Umbra. At least it's a stat. We can't currently play it because we just drew a basic island, but alright, it's Kiki Twin. See if they go to like try and counter the second spell, like a Curious Obsession here. Maybe they overthink it. Otherwise I should probably be playing this post combat. Alright, so it looks like they overthought it a little bit. Normally these decks run Remand, not Mana Leak, and I'm pretty happy with him wasting his mana for this turn, right? The Snapcaster Chump Block. Petty Theft, Bounce the Staggering Insight. You absolute bastard. Oh, man. Really? No. Come on, man. Alright, so play out the other Bogle. Pass the turn. Miss a land drop. All that sad stuff. There's a chance that, like, if we didn't play that, they Snapcaster Mage to Chump Block, and then we could have pathed. Yes, we try for the Ethereal Armor, and maybe he thinks we're slow rolling the Staggering Insight with an extra land. I don't know. It's just gonna be Remand anyway, right? Yeah, so there's the Remand. Get on in there. At this point, we might want to start holding up Path to Exile for their Deceiver Exarch combo as well. So just casting Aura is not necessarily the right thing now. Alright, so we do draw land. So let's go for this one, and then we can just play this afterwards, hold up Path afterwards. All of that jazz. Looks like Cryptic. Using Counterspell, draw a card. Alright, that's fine. That means we get to resolve Ethereal Armor here. And then we can actually semi-apply some pressure as well. So that, all in all, didn't work out too bad for us. Opponent is on 8. Still a 2-turn clock. But potential for it to lessen. Opponent concedes. Alright, let's go team. Alright, so this is Kiki combo. So what we're going to want is we're going to want our Torpor Orbs, and we're going to want our Trick Bind. And there's potential for wanting Surgical, but that's probably more of an overboard than like something that's good. I think Force of Negation we can probably remove. Stubborn Denial is probably okay. And Night of the Autumn's like pretty junk here. Path is pretty good. That one's sort of okay. Not gonna lie, Surgical getting like Cryptic Command seems pretty bloody good to me. That's almost better than Stubborn Denial. Let's go with that. It also doesn't cost mana, which could be very nice for us. Alright, so opponent is on the play. They've mulliganed to 6. We are also mulliganing to 6. This hand's really, really good. I'm going to keep. I can't see myself getting rid of like my only interaction. I think there's a chance they have Anger of the Gods. I think I'm going to risk it and just keep double Curious Obsession though. Double Curious Obsession just seems so gosh darn good. Definitely greeting for this one though. It's very real that they could have Anger of the Gods and we want the Totem Armor, but I can't. I'm not bottoming the Trick Bind. That's not happening. At best, Trick Bind can only like get us a turn though, so maybe it's not the best option for dealing with them. But bottoming a land is just way less consistent than just risking that they don't have the Anger of the Gods. Alright, so we're going to crack, we're going to shock, flooded, Hallowed Fountain here, and pass the turn. Alright, so opponent does end step and opt here, and he put that card on top of his library. But it was a long decision as well. So not necessarily just the best thing. Alright, let's go. Curious Obsession. Cast it. Use your remand. What have you got? Is it Charm? Alright, it's just a remand. Here I might just get the island. There's a small chance they have Blood Moon. I can't really play around it that well. Just gonna jam Curious, attack, hope that he doesn't have a good turn 3. And yeah, of course, gonna draw a card, and hopefully we continue curving out and can apply some pressure. Sweet, that's really good. It'll be very helpful for us curving out here. I wonder if this deck runs Simeon's Spirit Guide to ramp their Kiki forward onto a turn 4. So Curious Obsession, we'll go ahead and cast that. Sweet! That means we're probably resolving this Ethereal Armor. We'll leave up blue mana for potentially drawing Stubborn Denial. Alright. I think we want to give our creature flying here. There's potentially chump blocks with a Snapcaster Mage. There's also potentially just Petty Thefts one of our Curious Obsessions to hand. It does take a point of damage to do that, but like really what we want to see is the card draw, right? Alright, so we do get the card draw. We unfortunately, the Ethereal Armor is a casualty there. Not much we can do about that. Next turn we can potentially play around Blood Moon though, and they're not in a great position to cast it themselves. It's just double Lightning Bolt phase. Alright, they're going to go for the control route to try and beat us here. The Bolt Snap Bolt route. We can trick bind the Snapcaster Mage ETB. If we resolve this, it means we just have lethal next turn. So, yeah. No Bolt Snap Bolt? So what's your play? Cryptic Command? Opponent concedes. Alright, goodbye Kiki combo. Let's go. 3-1. Alright, and here we are for match 5. We lost the die roll. That means we are on the play. Opponent on a Lurus deck. We have no creature in this hand. We need to mulligan. Alright, so opponent mulligans to 6, as do we. Our hand is still no good, so we need to go to 5. Hopefully there's no Thoughtseize that just destroys us. Not much I can do about that though. Alright, opponent keeps 6. We mull to 5. See, there's no lander. We're on to 4. Cool, we've got to keep. And I think I just like throw. Done. And hope not to get Thoughtseized. Island? I mean, maybe. Maybe we can get there against this. They're a Lurus deck. Does this mean we're versing Urza? No, because they can't have Urza and Lurus, so... What plays Archive Trap? Mill. Okay, we're versing Mill. And now we mill 26? Holy shit, man. And they get Visions of Beyond here. Man, this is so much value. Well, I think post-board we're going to be pretty good. We're just unlucky that we went down a lot this game. Fucking hell, man. We lost all our Daybreak Coronets. Soul Guide Lantern as well. Well, that doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, you slightly shrink down our library. You go. 3 cards left in hand. So they did just stubborn denial there. I would assume they'd want to like exumerate it or something. Surgical extraction it. But they're not killing us on damage. Let's get the breeding pool. We have very few targets here though. Super awkward. So we'll get as much damage on the board as quickly as possible, which is 4 instead of 2. We'll attack. Hopefully he's run out of gas. Probably not. We'll see. Here comes a Flooded Strand. They fetch Flooded Strand. They active Field of Ruin. That's 3 triggers for the crab. 9 cards in the bin. Just off of lands. Dude, we're getting slapped around right now. We do have a basic island left in our library. Hopefully they go after the breeding pool, although they'll probably go after Temple Garden. I don't know. We'll see. Damn, they go after Temple Garden. That means we're locked off of white. Ooh. Alright, let's continue the beats here. We've still got a Stubborn Denial and a Force of Negation in our library. Down to 12 cards left though, and there's a Field of Ruin. Alright, here goes another 6 cards. Path, Horizon Canopy, and Hyena Umbra then. He's destroyed our breeding pool. Yep. So... Then he's gotten rid of Scout, Stubborn Denial, Windswept Heath, and he's made us mill another 8. So we just die on upkeep. Cool. Fortunately, everybody, we have got Leyline of Sanctity. Leyline of Sanctity is very, very good here. Other than that, maybe we could Trick Bind his creatures. Doesn't seem great to me. These decks can have Ensnaring Bridge and Engineered Explosives. I guess we can force their Engineered Explosives. We have some sources of Totem Armor and some counter magic there. A lot of the better versions of this deck don't run Ensnaring Bridge. I'm still slightly terrified of it from my like older days of versing it. I might just look up recent lists. Alright, I looked up a few lists and they don't run Ensnaring Bridge, so I'm not bothering with Artifact, although they do run Engineered Explosives, so Heroic Intervention is quite good there, and also Bontus. I might just minus an Arcane Flight and a Staggering and then submit. Also taking out my Paths, my Night of Autumn. So yes. Alright, good hand, we keep. Much better than what we had last game, I'll tell you that much. So we probably want to fetch immediately to minimize the chance of our opponents having archive traps. And we'll just set up for Rancor and Curious Obsession next turn. Draw a reasonable amount of cards. Hopefully we draw some counter magic, and then we'll just finish them off with Daybreak Coronet and stop drawing cards. So there's an archive trap already. Opponent has had a lot of archive traps here. So we lose a Stubborn Denial and a Heroic Intervention. And they know about our ley lines now as well, which we can potentially slow roll. Opponent with the crab. So this is a race. We'll do... Obviously, we don't need to gain the life that Staggering Insight will gain. It's also a non-optional draw, which might make it a fair bit worse than Curious Obsession. click yes to that one. We find a mana confluence. That's going to be good for next turn. Rune Crab now. Alright, well here comes all of the triggers. Imagine trick binding the fetch. That'd be pretty sweet. Soul Guideline. We lose both our heroic interventions. That stings. 3 Daybreaks, an Ethereal Armor, and a Hyena Umbra, and they exile Mana Confluence. Well, we race. The only way we know how. Alright. Well, it's a 2-turn clock. I'm not going to draw from Curious Obsession. That can just stay in our library. Opponent is on 4. Maybe we can kill them on turn 4. We're at their mercy right now. We're at the mercy of however many archive traps they can enable with like a Field of the Rune. Alright, so no Field of the Rune. They can make us mill 6. Holy crap, man. This deck is going ham. The difference Leyline of Sanctity would make as well. Alright, 12 cards left in our library. And we have 1 Force and 1 Stubborn Denial left in our library at this stage as well. Opponent concedes. Whew. That was pretty scary right then. Honestly, Trick Bind might be pretty decent. I think our 1 mana auras might be better than these Staggering Insights as well. Could potentially like Surgical one of their lands or one of their really powerful spells and strip another one out of their hand. I guess we could just go after their lands for free a little bit. So we can bring in our Surgicals for Staggering Insight there, and maybe just a Daybreak and try to be really aggressive. Daybreak's good, though. Maybe a Curious Obsession. Alright, I don't know if this is optimal, but hopefully we get a good Leyline hand, and none of that matters. It's not a Leyline hand, but it's pretty aggressive. Unfortunately, I can't really look for hands that I don't fetch with. I think this is aggressive enough that it's worth keeping on the balance of probability. Like, we could do better, but we could also just mull to like 4 without or 3 and without seeing another keepable hand. So, all right, enable the Archive Trap, which he seems to have had a lot of. 3 in 2 games. Slam down Bogle, pass turn. Here comes the Archive Traps. Fuck off, man. Fuck off with your Archive Traps. I'm sick of this shit. So we lose Stubborn Denial, double Curious Obsession, Daybreak Coroner, and a Force, and a second Stubborn Denial, another Daybreak. Oh, baby. Surgical Extraction is nice. So I think we draw Stepper on our opponent's turn. And there's no real word worry chump blocks. I should have played the Hyena Umbra. I tapped the wrong mana for Ethereal Armor here, and it's probably going to come back to bite me. So, goodbye Archive Trap. In my life. See what's in their hand. Holy shit. Wait, no, that's not their hand. I thought that was their hand for a second. Their hand is Field of Rune. I thought we just hit triple Archive Trap somehow. That wouldn't have made sense if they were holding on to it, though. So they've got that card. Well, we don't have to worry about another archive trap for the rest of the game, though. I can't believe it doesn't leave the cards up for us. Opponent casts Visions of Beyond. So Visions of Beyond out of their hand. Here comes the Soul Guide Lantern, which would have been their draw for the turn. So currently they've got Polluted Delta, Maddening Cacophony, and Field of Ruin in hand. Polluted Delta are out. Lots of mills. Mill City here. Another Ethereal Armor would be nice. Awesome Counter Magic would be nice. And he's got double Engineered Explosives in his deck. A Bontus, an Aethergast, 4 Mesmeric Orbs, 4 Soul Guide Lanterns, one of which he drew. He's got his own set of 4 Surgical Extractions as well. All of which he's been drawing to. Man, I really wish I got an Archive Trap out of his hand then instead of just blanking. I couldn't even have gone after a Polluted Delta though. Alright, long turn. Alright, opponent casts Surgical Extraction going after our Ethereal Armors. Fortunately, it doesn't hit what's in our hand, but it does turn off future Ethereal Armors. We do draw the Mana Confluence here, so we are able to apply a lot of pressure here and have our opponent on a 2-turn clock. We've still got 18 cards left in our library, but they do have a Maddening, which I think mills 8. And they've got this stupid thing and Field of Ruin, and I think we're just dead to these triggers, to be honest. Oh, man. So lame. 6 cards left in our library, so Maddening's definitely got us now. Good games. Double crab creature doing work. So close, man. So close. Oh well, it's really close. Good league. 3-2. Our loss against Tron was a little bit unfortunate. In the first match there, we had the Night of Autumn, which is very much high rolling. Ready to answer his Ensnaring Bridge on the next turn, and then they destroyed our lands with a Sundering Titan. So well played to my opponent, using the card activation to get the right thing and all of that. Definitely sucked from us. And then in the next game, they just high rolled and we low rolled, and that was no good. And against Mill there, I definitely feel like those were some high rolls for Mill hands. We were unfortunate not to get any counter magic in hand, or draw it, or any ley lines in play there in either games 1 or 2. We didn't take it to a game 3, so we got pretty destroyed there. Actually, we did take it to a game 2. Never mind. We did take it to a game 2, and we just out-aggroed them with Ethereal Armor and some flying and all of that, right? But we still didn't have counter magic in the game 2. Or Leyline in the game 2. So 3 games without counter magic, 2 games without Leyline. Obviously, it wasn't possible to have Leyline in the first game, so I'm not really counting that one. Surgical Extraction sort of did nothing there against Mill. Definitely would have preferred maybe like a Trick Bind. We did side in the Trick Bind, but we didn't see it. Just to like counter the activation of the land. So that would have been pretty good, because it would have disabled 2 lots of crab triggers, and then we would have had a chance of surviving. I feel like maybe we've got one too many artifact destroy effects. When I was looking to bring in stuff against Tron, I felt like I was bringing in too many cards and maybe overboarding a little bit. But like, if I remove a force, I'm probably just going an extra trick bind anyway, which is sort of medium. Yeah, other than that, I think it was good. I didn't hugely miss Invisible Stalker here. Although at the same time, I didn't verse any of the Hate Bear decks here either. For the most part, having 4 Staggering Insights, I think was very, very good for us. Maybe an extra, like, creature or 2 wouldn't go astray, but I feel like I want to test this deck again with just the 8 creatures so I can have a really dense amount of auras and a very large amount of interaction as well, which I wouldn't normally be able to get away with. We do have 8 card draw spells, which is pretty massive, pretty impressive. So yeah, we'll end the league there. I've rambled on for long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun despite getting a bit frustrated at the end there. Let me know what you think down below. And if you're new here, subscribe for daily content. If you haven't already, look me up on Twitch. Link in the description, and my schedule is on my Twitch for you guys to look up over there. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.